I will feel a glow.
Knicks fans, welcome back to another session of Knicks Bros TV here on Knicks Couch Report. It's been a while since we've done a Knicks video. The season is almost less than a week away, which is super exciting. Can't wait to see some Knicks basketball. A couple of things here before I get kind of started on, my predictions on, the playoff ranking going into this season. I'm going to kind of talk about the Knicks and kind of what I've seen and what I think the Knicks should be doing. So, Derek Fisher, I hope you're watching this. But here we go. To be honest with you, I haven't seen too much out of Calderon. But I think, with that trade, we can do nothing wrong. I mean, getting rid of Felton was probably one of the best things we did. As far as Dallenberg is concerned, I really like Dallenberg. One thing with Dallenberg that he gives us that Stoudemire, Bargnani, or Chandler last year didn't give us was rebounds. He gives us that second opportunity, which is great. And he's really good under the rim. I mean, he either makes the shots or, passes the ball for us to give us an opportunity. So I think, he's going to be a great part of that triangle offense. Again, Bargnani, we haven't seen much out of him because he's been hurt. Stoudemire, he's been really good in one game and terrible in the other. Might kind of be a reflection of last year, but he definitely has a speed back, which is really good. And Carmelo Anthony hasn't lost a touch from last season. The two players that I'm really worried about is Iman Shumpert's offense. His defense has been, really good. But I'm questioning J.R. Smith on the offense and defense. Last year, one of the biggest problems I had with him was he just took bad shots. And right now, he has come out and stated that, he's getting used to the triangle offense. But guess what? Everybody else is, but they're not playing as bad as you are. So I don't know if it's excuses or not, but he's got to get it together. We haven't seen too much out of Early. Let me see who else is I can talk about in this video. That's kind of it. I know there's been trade rumors about us trading Outlaw, which I'm totally fine with. Quincy AC, I mean, guy's a beast. So I know last game against Toronto, he had some open looks, and when he took them, he didn't miss. So, I think defensively we've improved. What was interesting the last game against Toronto, Derek Fisher got a technical, which was awesome. I don't know what he said to the referee, but it must not have been good because he got a technical for it. So that's really it. That's what I'm kind of waiting to see how the season goes. But good grief, Stoudemire, you got to get it together. And the other thing is I'm really questioning how Bargnani is going to come out and play in this triangle offense because he hasn't been playing whatsoever. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. We definitely don't have easy games coming up starting the season. So this Eastern Conference prediction, I gotta give credit to an individual. I've been watching his videos. He does a really good job. Whether if you're a Nets fan or not, I think you should definitely watch his videos. His channel's name is Nets Boy. I'm gonna put his links at the box below so you guys can go ahead and check him out, view his channel, and subscribe. He definitely has some good stuff. He said a lot of things that I agreed with, and he did say some stuff that I didn't. So I'm just gonna give him my version of the Eastern Conference and give you guys my version, and you guys tell me what you think. Just my predictions, and I can relate with him as far as the Nets are concerned because I definitely followed the Nets when they were in New Jersey. So I definitely saw Darren Williams coming off his prime there and Brook Lopez starting off. So here we go. I think for his first pick, he did have Cleveland as first. I'm picking Chicago as my first pick just because I feel like they have much more chemistry together. And guess what? That team has made the playoffs and has ranked fairly well without Rose. So just imagine having a healthy Rose. Worst thing comes worst if Rose goes down again. Chicago will go from first, probably at the lowest fourth or fifth. So no matter what, I see Chicago as a playoff contending team. But the reason why I'm picking them over the Cavaliers is because we don't know what the chemistry is going to be like with the Cavaliers. And the other thing that Chicago has that Cleveland doesn't is um, a winning mentality. I mean, they've been winning, a couple of years in a row now, and Cleveland hasn't won anything since LeBron has left. So, guys like Love and I forgot their point guard's name, but those guys haven't won. I mean, they've been heck of good players, but they just haven't won anything. So that's why I'm picking Chicago over them. And I think um, adding those players that they did was definitely good. I mean, Gasol is going to be a good contributor to that team. And then second, I have Cleveland. I mean, no matter what, they just have a good team. So I see them going as second. Um, but again, it all kind of depends of how the season goes. Third, I have Washington Wizards. I mean, you know, having the quality players they do have and going out there and acquiring Paul Pierce. I know it's kind of late in the season, but he looked great. Unlike Kevin Garnett, you know I just don't see Kevin Garnett playing more than 15 20 minutes a game. Fourth, I do have the Toronto Raptors. Um, Fifth, I do have Miami Heat. I know a lot of people are kind of counting out the Miami Heat, but they still build a pretty solid team. I mean, you have Bosch that isn't a superstar. I don't consider him a superstar. So all those high-paying contracts don't make sense to me for Bosch, but he's pretty consistent. And if Dwayne Wade can still give one more good year, and getting Luol Deng was a positive too. So if the chemistry is there, they can definitely be a fifth seed. Now, the video that I watched with Nets Boy, he made some good pointers with the Nets, but I felt like having the Nets being third in the East was a little ambitious. I'm ranking them sixth. Reason why I say that again, D. Williams, is he going to be healthy? Is he not going to be healthy? Is he going to be consistent? Is he not going to be consistent? There's too many questions in your point guard. Brook Lopez, I like Brook Lopez. But the thing is, can he stay healthy? There's so many question marks around that team. And again, I just can't see, them being third in the East, counting on not to take it really away from these players, but on Mirza Televic or Boganovic. I mean, we haven't seen a solid regular season game from him. So it all kind of comes down to the consistency of that team. I think the one player that kind of stands out and at the same time is consistent for the most part is Joe Johnson. So that's my take on that. Now, as far as my Knicks are concerned, what it comes down to is how early can they grasp the triangle offense? Meaning, the players have to be on the same page here, and if they're not, that can be a really ugly season. Just because of the fact that I have J.R. Smith and Shumpert not really being able to contribute much into the triangle offense. So that's a lot of our bench right there. But what I really don't want the season turning out to be is all the weight going back to Carmelo Anthony. So and then making sure that Stoudemire remains healthy, Bargnani can stay healthy. So I have the Knicks as 7. And 8th, which I was really surprised, at Nets Boy was, and again, he did say, from 6th through 8th, it can kind of be anybody, but I feel like the 8th, the Hawks will plug themselves back in, just because, Jeff Teague is a heck of a player. They have Millsap and Al Horford if he can stay healthy. I mean, that's a quality team right there, and they've been a experienced team. And Mike Scott showed a lot against the Pacers last year, so that's a really hard nosed basketball team that it's going to be tough. But I do have the Pacers missing out the playoffs, and that's something that Netsboy and I are agreeing on. It's just because with the injury that happened to George, what are you going to count on Paul Hibbert? That team has chemistry issues, and I just think now having less quality on that team, it's going to show some more chemistry problems throughout the season. So I'm kind of counting them out. And, you know, between Charlotte and the eighth seed and things like that, you know, there might be a battle there too. But really, that's my top eight as far as the NBA conference is concerned. So again, guys, these are my predictions. I'm hoping for a really awesome season. And please get on Netsboy's page, subscribe to him, and view his channel. He does give us solid basketball information all throughout the season, and it's really cool to see that to see someone kind of wanting to kind of rep their team all season long. So thank you guys for watching. These are my takes. Please tell me what you think, and see you guys when the season opens.
When I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow.